Right now, somewhere in the world, a dog is sleeping at the foot of someone's bed. Warm, safe, loved. But that gentle animal carries a secret in its blood. Its ancestor was a wolf, a wild predator with jaws that could crush bone, an animal your ancestors would run from in terror. So how did that happen? How did one of nature's most dangerous hunters become the creature that greets you at the door, that sleeps in your home, that would die to protect you? The story of how a wolf became your best friend is one of the strangest and most beautiful partnerships in the history of life on Earth. Here's something that will reframe how you see your dog. Long before humans tamed cows or sheep or grew a single field of wheat, before civilization, before farming, before almost everything, we had dogs. The dog was the first animal we ever brought into our world, possibly tens of thousands of years ago. While our ancestors were still nomadic hunters wandering the Ice Age, a four-legged companion was already walking beside them. This wasn't a pet. This was an alliance. The very first deal humanity ever struck with another species. And it would change both of us forever. But here's the twist that surprises most people. We probably didn't tame the wolf. The wolf tamed itself. Picture an ancient human camp. There's waste, scraps, bones, the leftovers of the hunt. Most wolves were too afraid to come near. But a few, just a few, were born a little bolder, a little less fearful. They crept closer to the firelight to eat. And because they were calm enough to stay, they survived. And they had pups who were calmer still. Generation after generation, the friendliest wolves ate the best and lived the longest. Scientists call it survival of the friendliest. We didn't choose them. The bravest, gentlest wolves chose us. And as those wolves grew tamer, something remarkable happened to their bodies. They started to change. Floppy ears, shorter snouts, patchy, spotted coats, curly tails, faces that stayed soft and puppy-like into adulthood. Scientists call this domestication syndrome, and the wild part is how it happens. When you select an animal purely for friendliness, all these other traits come along for the ride. We know because of a famous experiment with foxes, where breeding only the tamest ones produced, within just a few decades, animals with floppy ears and wagging tails that looked and acted like dogs. Friendliness, it turns out, literally rewrites an animal from the inside. Now, if you think the bond was just about usefulness, an ancient grave will change your mind. In Germany, archaeologists uncovered a burial around 14,000 years old. Inside were two humans, and beside them, a dog. But this was no ordinary dog. Studying its teeth, scientists found it had been gravely ill as a puppy, sick with a disease that should have killed it. For it to survive, someone had to care for it for weeks, keeping it warm, giving it water, nursing a useless, dying animal that could offer them nothing in return. And when it finally died, they buried it with their own. This is not a tool, this is family. 14,000 years ago, someone loved their dog exactly the way you love yours. And that love isn't just a feeling, it's biology. When you look into your dog's eyes and it looks back, something extraordinary happens in both your brains. A surge of oxytocin, the very same bonding chemical released between a mother and her newborn baby. Your dog triggers the same ancient circuitry that makes humans love their own children. In a sense, dogs found a way to plug straight into the human heart. No other animal on Earth has ever done this. Over thousands of years, they didn't just learn to live with us. They learned to make us love them. So the partnership between humans and dogs was never one-sided. We gave them food, warmth, and safety. They gave us protection, help on the hunt, and warmth on freezing nights. But more than that, they gave us companionship in a brutal and lonely world. We didn't just change the wolf changed us, softened us, walked beside us through the entire story of becoming human. Your dog isn't just an animal you own. It's the descendant of the oldest friendship our species has ever known. So tonight, when your dog rests its head on your lap, remember the brave wolf by the ancient fire who started it all, and the unbroken chain of love that connects them across 40,000 years. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, because next time, we're answering another strange and beautiful question about the world our ancestors lived in.